Hello everyone, this is Akira, it's me, and welcome to our special noodle class again. We are doing this class broadcasting from Yamato in Kagawa, in Japan, and today's class is going to be on Gyoza skin, right? But specifically, we get asked this question a lot. Okay, so we have a ramen machine, and we can make gyoza skins on the ramen machine, right? Okay, how many pieces of gyoza skins that can you make, right? For example, like 2 kilograms of flour, right? Or 4 kilograms of flour. But it depends on a lot of variables. So that's what we're gonna talk about. We're not just gonna talk about that, but I'm gonna talk about other stuff. Like gyoza or what's gyoza, and then certain things about gyoza, ingredients and stuff like that too. So Megumi is gonna make gyoza skin today, and she's gonna make actually the gyoza skin, right? And then see how many gyoza skin, how many pieces of gyoza skin she can make, right? Out of a certain amount of dough, right? So that's what we're gonna do today. So let's get started. And I made these just scribbles on the whiteboard again, and so today we're doing gyoza skin. Some people call it dumpling skin, right? And so gyoza is like really complete meals, right? It has like carbs, and fiber, and protein, fat, and everything in it. And so it's a complete meal. And but it's served as kind of side dishes like in ramen shops. But we do have actually in Japan, right? The restaurants that pretty much specialize in serving only gyoza, right? And then they have really unique gyozas, and then you'd be amazed how different they are. And there are many famous restaurants that serve kind of special gyoza. But easy, casual, convenient, and suitable for takeout, also delivery. And that can be main dishes, right? So the main dish like gyoza because it's complete meal. And so what's trending in Japan right now? Not right now, but some of them will be around for a while. So a lot of the shops, especially ramen shops, right? They'll serve gyoza. Sort of going for smaller pieces of gyoza, right? That's people call one bite gyoza. So a piece of gyoza that you can just you know just try just one bite, right? And it's very small, and the that means that the gyoza skin itself is very small in terms of the diameter, right? And usually the skin is pretty thin as well, so it's kind of really kind of hard to kind of how to wrap, and then you have to I think you need a little practice to get used to to make him good, and um make him efficiently and speedy, right? But other kind of it's not kind of opposite side of the spectrum here, but there are a lot of thick, very thick gyoza skins, right? And then these are also stir fried gyozas, but the skin, right? The dough, it's almost like a dough skin, that's really thick, right? And so it's crispy outside and chewy inside because they're stir fried, and then but it's crispy outside but chewy inside, and it has this really sort of unique texture to the skin. And so speaking of stir fried gyoza, right? Stir fried gyoza would be kind of most popular type of gyoza, that's in Japan, right? But especially the ones that are served at the ramen shops, right? And but of course, there are some other restaurants that serve boiled gyoza, gyoza they boil them and then serve them in soup, and steamed gyoza, right? Steamed gyoza, they so you just steam them, but the skins are typically kind of thicker side, and the boiled gyoza as well, they're on the thicker side, and then the thicker, they tend to be higher in hydration. And so, there's a skin, right? for the gyoza, and then this is the carb, right? And then what's in it? Like, it's like wheat flour, and it usually um, high in protein, and but like usually like it's a combination like kind of blended flour, high protein content flour, usually like in the bigger portion, like higher ratio of the solid ingredients, and medium like or low protein content flours. So let's say like, oh, you're missing like 60% like high protein flour, and then like 40% or like 30% like medium low protein flour to get so like elasticity in the dough, right? Dough skin. And you may be adding like other solid ingredients like for sticky rice flour, like in tapioca starch or something like that, to get more elasticity in the gyoza skin, because we have to like really thin it, like so we are dealing like in a really thin skins. It's like when you're wrapping the fillings, right? Then you tend to like tear it, and they're like okay, the skin to break it, and that's really gonna be hard to like wrap the fillings. So that's what we're trying to have like some sort of like elasticity, right, in the user skin. And fillings, so like in the fillings, like protein, there's protein, fiber, and fat, right? And then typical like there's garlic, cabbage, and leek, and Chinese chives, and for the protein, like whole gram meat and soybeans, like we're seasoning like oyster soy sauce. And what's important for the filling is that like we want to like squeeze the water out of like such vegetables like cabbage as much as possible, so that like the feeding is not going to be watery, and if the feeding is watery, right, and then the water out of these fillings is going to be like wetting the skin, and like well the skin is going to break, right, before you can get to like stuff, right. So and so so let's say that like this is a skin, right, and so this is a diameter, right, diameter, typically diameter like it's like in the range of like 65 millimeter and to like 120 millimeter. Like 120 millimeter, like really large skin, but like 65 millimeter would be like the one bite gyoza that I was talking about. And so the thickness, right? Thickness of the skin, it's in the range of like zero point 0.3 millimeters. Like it's really thin, like laser paper thin. And the to like 5.0 millimeter, like it's very thick, and usually like thicker, right? The higher hydration, the chewier, and thinner, right? And lower the hydration, and then crispier. And so, but some people like make, of course, like use the skin by hand, right? And then like in that case, um, there may be like use the skin like this, like the edges, right? The edge of the skin will be like 1 millimeter, and but like in the center core will be like 3 to 4 millimeter, where the fillings will be put in, right? And fillings are wrapped, and then like so the center, the core will be like kind of thicker, and kind of well it it can sustain it like kind of well the probably moisture water of the fillings, right, with this thicker skin. So right, and then so like let's say that this is the the dough, right, dough sheet like this. We make a dough sheet like this, and then like you're punching the skin out of this dough sheet, right? So like how many pieces of like skin like you can get out of like this sheet of dough, right? And then so there's a diameter, right? Diameter of the skin, right? And then there's a length of the sheet, right? And then there's width, right? There's width of sheet, but also like the thickness, right? Thickness of sheet. So these are the variables like we need to know, like for us to be able to like calculate. Okay, how many pieces of skin like we can get out of the just well say like 2 kilograms of flour. The hydration is 35%, and yeah, so then we can definitely calculate so how many pieces of skin that you can get out of you know, these like from these variables. So we have the calculation formula, and if you are guys are curious about, okay, like how many pieces of your skin like I can get out of this, then yeah, we can get it calculated and let you guys know. So if you guys are interested, like we can definitely get back to you with the results. So all right, so let's get started on production of gyoza skin. Okay, so here are some ingredients that we're gonna use. So like this is a flour, right? Flour, wheat flour, and um, typically like this is the ramen flour, and so protein content would be like 11.5% to 12% or so. And so that means like the higher the protein, the harder the noodle texture, and so it's kind of hard hard dough, and these things, right, over here, like, so sugar, right? You're adding sugar and salt, and this is the vegetable oil. And we want to like add like just a little bit of vegetable oil to like kind of have like some smooth like kind of, well, have like kind of elasticity as well, kind of smoothness, and just water, right? So these three things like you can go into the water to be dissolved in the water before we add it to the flour. Okay, and because this is not ramen noodles we're making, right? So we don't have any kansi in it. If we are making like ramen noodles, like we put kansi in it, but like kansi has to be like boiled out, in the cooking process. So, but like in gyoza, um, especially like stuff like gyoza, like we are not cooking them, right, in water. So, like if you use a kansi and then like stir fry them and then like, you know, sell them to customers, like, and then that's going to be, it's gonna have like a lot of taste from the kansi, so that's not good. So just make sure that like all these ingredients like you're thoroughly dissolved, right? Dissolved in the water. So the salt and sugar are in. Right, so like this is a Richmond Gold one machine, and this is a 10 kilograms mixer, right? And then yeah, this is a 10 kilograms mixer, and make me just add it like just oil right in there, and then we're gonna mix it for 4 minutes first, right? And then adding the liquid to the lid, right? Lid, like it has these holes, right? It has these holes in the lid so that the liquid, like she put in, right, like gradually kind of added to the flour, right? And then like so, kind of rendering the good hydration of dough. I mean the flour, right? This way, and just adding the liquid a little by little, and then while it's doing that, like the mixing blades is like mixing, right, mixing the flour and the water, right, and then so then this particular mixer is like we call it like silky mixer, and so this is designed to be able to like mix the dough, the flour and water, kind of efficiently, the highest, well, yeah, the fastest speed. And so the dough that you get right out of this mixer would be like very well, like exceptionally well hydrated compared to like conventional mixer. And yeah, so this is a silky mixer. That's 10 kilograms silky mixer. And yeah, so it's great to just keep looking at like Suzuki mixer, but like we don't want to waste you guys time. So like to make me made dough like in advance, right? And then so this one is by the way like 2 kilograms of flour, and then on top of that, like she added the 35 hydration liquid, right? So 2 kilo times like 0.35, and that's 700 grams, so like 2.7 kilograms of dough. Yeah, so this machine is more advanced like than conventional noodle making machines in several ways. Yeah, for example, like this machine can do the the feeding with dough, right? And then especially like all these control panels, right? There's a touch panel that you can um, that let you know like what's going on in the machine, right? Um, and then you mainly you need to like feed the dough, right? Feed the dough into the roller, kind of manually, but like this machine does it automatically. So like once you set the dough, right, and like um, just keeps going, right, and then like just by does it by itself. So just feeding the dough at the same time, like it's just winding the dough sheet onto the rolling pins. So there are sensors that kind of measuring like amount of dough that's going in, right? And then so it's detecting like if whether or not like the more appropriate amount of dough is like for getting fed into the roller, right? And then so that's how this machine is like controlling the speed of the conveyor belt that's carrying the dough into the roller. And at the same time, right, the mixer is done for like 4 minute mixing, right? And so you're just kind of cleaning inside, and then it's going to do the rest of like 6 minute mixing time. So you can it's like do the sheeting operation at the same like you can do the mixing operation simultaneously because the motors are separate. Okay. So the first cheating, right? So first cheating was we call it like wrap forming, right? So like remember like that was just crumbles of like dough, right? And then we fed them into the roller, and then like to make this sheet of dough, and but this sheet of dough is still fragile, like because you just made like kind of force that crumbles dough into this sheet of dough, right? And then so it's still pretty fragile, and we need to make it stronger, firmer to be able to use it as like dumpling skin, right? Remember, like when we wrapping the fillings, right? It has to sustain the like all the pulling and everything, like the force, right, by hand. That so it has to be like strong, right, enough to be able to like sustain that. So to do that, like we separate the dough into two, right, and then like combine them, right, put them together through the roller, and that's how we kind of make it stronger. Yeah, so two separate sheets are combined, being like getting combined, right? Combined into like one sheet again, and then that's stronger than before, and it like if these like two separate sheets are not even, like then you may want like you may need to like kind of fold it to kind of make it even, right? Make it even like in the same length. So we're going to do another round of this combining process, right? And like because we want to make sure that like the dough is gonna be strong enough, right? For later stage when like these guys are like going to be like wrapping all the fillings, right? And so we're gonna do it again by like a different roller gap this time around, and at the same time, like we want to be dusting. We want to be dusting the some kind of starch that we use for this dusting, and um, each time we use this kind of starch that's made of like a palm tree, kind of like palm trees, right? But like in, I mean, overseas, like we use yeah, cornstarch or like the potato starch, like any kind of starch that like helps yeah the helps that keep the dough from sticking, right? And so dough is dusted, so it's kept from sticking together. And especially like when you're making like gyoza skin, right? Because that's really thin, it's gonna be really thin, so it's prone to sticking. And as it gets like thinner and thinner, right? And it gets like it gets really sticky, like no matter how hard you try, right? So like um, even though like it's the hydration ratio is not that high, like 35% or so. As it gets thinner, right, it gets like unusually, you know, moist and sticky because it gets, like thinner. So you want to dust it like really well. So we're just thinning it. We're just thinning it, right? Like just keep thinning it like to the final thickness, and it's dusting at the same time, right? And like we are thinning it, thinning it. So that was actually 2.0 millimeter thickness that like we put the sheet into, right? And then the next time around, like we are going to do it at 1.5, right? 1.5 millimeter roll gap. So we just like doing like, taking it slow, like kind of, gradually thinning it so that like the build instructions said though, like, well, kept, yeah, it's like that's not like it's not going to destroy it, right? So like, no, we could keep retaining the um, good structure, right? Okay. So thank you for your question. Like, so when it comes to like gyoza skiing, like, well, is there such a thing as like, well, too much dusting? And um, not really. I mean, that's yeah. Well, actually, like when yeah, I'd say like yeah, it's like like when people like I mean when gyoza specialty shops, right, like they dust a lot of flours, they dust a lot of like starch, right, and to prevent them from sticking, right, prevent them from sticking. And then yeah, when I actually have like my one favorite like grill specialty shop, like, I frequently buy from, right? And then like when I get the package, right, when I get a package, like kind of that's fresh gyoza, right? And so they put like a lot of flours, like they put a lot of starch on them, right? And to, keep them from sticking. I think because partly because like they use them for kind of, delivery, like takeout, like kind of like um, mail order kind of thing, right? What like, they have like little control over like, how it's treated, right? So they put like way too much I mean dusting powder, right? It's almost like yeah, it's like one fifth, like one fourth of the package, right? Maybe one fifth, like one fourth of the like the weight of the gyoza is like the dusting powder, almost like. So yeah, but it doesn't hurt, right? It doesn't hurt, to well, it costs you, but like it doesn't hurt to dust the gyoza skin, so that like the your skins won't get stuck together. So yeah, but like they put a lot of dusting powder for sure. Yeah, right. And so this particular like gyoza specialty shop, right? And then they give you like they provide you with like this fresh gyoza, and then like so you're supposed to like stir fry them, right? And then so you put the like piece of gyoza like one by one like in the pan, right? And then you stir fry them, and then like in the package, right? Empty package, like what's left is like yeah, full of like dumpling. I mean the dusting powder. So that's a lot of dusting powder in there. Like what the empty package that that's left. But it doesn't hurt, right? And then because that's why like I get the gyoza, I did the gyoza, and then like the gyoza. Sometimes like still some of them are still stuck, right? But like most of them are okay. So and so now it's went through, right? It's going through like 1 millimeter roll gap, and then but the actual thickness is uh okay. Thank you for your question, but like I couldn't read. I finished reading the last part of it, but one point what? Sorry, 1.1. Okay, so 1.1 like just a just a 0.1 millimeter difference, right? Okay, I don't know. Yeah. So, do you think it can have a negative impact on product? From what I gather, the first time I did it, when you fry it, it gets crispy surface thanks to the dusting. Yeah, right. Yeah, that's that works as well. Like, and then so it's basically starch, right? And then like if you can add like just a little bit of water to it, and then then if because you stir fry them, and then the water gets hot, and then like the starch with the starch, right? And then you maybe like create the well the what do you call it? Like we call them like wings of the gyoza, right? It's like around the gyoza, like you can make like kind of like crispy sort of dough, yeah, doughy, like not doughy, but like kind of crispy thing, like around the gyoza, right? And then all customers love it, but like so you can use that starch, right? And then mix it with the like hot water, right? To make the this this liquid, right? And then like you use that liquid like after well after you like finish like stir frying the one side, right? And then like you put the liquid onto the on the pan, right? And then like it starts like kind of making the steam, right? Steam, and then that helps, right? That helps kind of cook the gyoza further too. But like, and then this this liquid, right? Like gets formed, and then like into sort of like a what do you call it? Like kind of like thin cruster kind of crusting, like that's crispy, right? And then like so you're gonna have like gyoza, like piece of gyoza, like with sort of like yeah, it's like thin crusting like around it, like it's very nice, and then like people love them. So I think you can just sort of put that dusting powder. For example, like takeout, for the takeout, right? The dusting powder to like, then it's like, you have like kind of like piece of instruction, and to tell the customer like how you can make that kind of thing, frosting, right, around the gyoza. Then yeah, that would be kind of nice too. Yeah, I mean that doesn't have like much of a negative impact. I mean negative effect, right, on the taste of the gyoza or anything. Because you just have to be careful, like not to have like like try to like remove all that like as much of the dusting powder as possible, like when you are placing the piece of gyoza on the pan, right? Then that's yeah, because if you have like too much like dusting powder like on the piece of gyoza, right? Like when you're stir frying them, right? Then that part, like if it's like too thick, then the heat doesn't reach the skin of gyoza, right? And then it doesn't get cooked. So, but instead, like that, well, thick crust of that starch gets cooked, right? So, um, so you just have to be like kind of careful when you're stir frying them. So this is the like gyoza drum that we use, right? And right, and so gyoza drum, like this is a yeah something that that kind of helps you guys to like make gyoza skin efficiently, and yeah, you don't have to have it like you don't have to have it to make gyoza skin, but like yeah, well it's kind of nice to have thing, right? But like the purpose of today's class is just well, okay, how many pieces of like gyoza skin like can we get out of well in this case like 2 kilograms of flour, I mean solid ingredients, right? And then 35% hydration ratio. And today, right, we're the only the only gyoza kata we had, right, is like kind of small one. That's 75 millimeter diameter, 75 millimeter diameter. So like that's kind of like one bite gyoza, I was talking about, right? So we make the cut there, right? Vertical cut, and then so we have nice layers of gyoza skin. Like I'm not sure like how many layers we have, like but you can count it. And so we're gonna do the push, right? We're gonna do the push and another push. And can we do another push in that row? Oh yeah. Yeah, 75 millimeter gyoza cutter maybe pretty good for this size, because we're not wasting much of the dough, right? So maybe like very efficient, like for this size of dough, right? Because this length, right, like this is like supposed to be like 210 millimeter, and that's 75, right? Just 230. Sorry, 230, right? Okay, even knows better. Yeah, 230, right? So like 75, 75, 75. Like we got like three in a row, right? And I believe like this length, right? Like it's about like 500, like 220 something. So I don't know like how many we can make like in a row, right? In that. So okay, let's see, right? Let's see how many. Let me count it. Okay. All right. Okay, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Okay, so I think it's 15, right? I think it's 15 pieces. I can so it's like 15, right? 15 each, right? It's like 3 times 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So 27 times 15. 405, 405. Wait, 405 pieces like out of like 2 kilograms of flour, right? 2 kilograms of solid ingredients, and then the 35% hydration ratio. And but we can still actually use these parts, right? These parts, the roundy parts, right? What's left, right? The dough. So how we can use them is that like we can actually put them back into the mixer, like more like the noodle production part, like, or skin production. And yeah, the dumpling skin, like if you make like dumpling more with the dumpling skin, right, like you can actually put it back into the another batch. I mean, the production of another batch. So you can reuse it. Yeah, definitely. So but we have like 405 pieces of gyoza skin right here. So if you're not if you don't waste them, like just like wrapping like all of them, right, and then you have like 405 pieces like beautiful gyoza. And how many dishes like gyoza like are you gonna be able to make, right, out of them? Like, if it's like um 10 per plate or something, then you're gonna have like 40 plates, right, out of these. just 2 kilograms, yeah, of the solid ingredients and 35% hydration ratio. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.